Have you ever heard of Mount Kailash? Known as the Stairway to Heaven, this mountain sits at the crossroads of India and China. But it's not the geopolitical position that makes it legendary. It's the mountain's unique and almost supernatural characteristics. While nearly 7,000 adventurers have conquered the towering heights of Mount Everest, Kailash, thousands of meters shorter, remains untouched, a feat even the most daring mountaineers have not attempted. Even Joe Rogan himself was left speechless by the stories surrounding this sacred peak, a place where science, spirituality, and the supernatural intersect in fascinating ways. What makes Kailash so intriguing? Let's dive deep into the mysteries that make this side of this mountain a topic of endless fascination.
In 21 days, I was in Kailash. I took one strand of what is there on that mountain. You won't believe. In 2.5 hours, I was almost 10 to 15 years younger.
On Mount Kailash with an adversary. There's a mountain, and that is also one of the abodes. Like, we own different homes.
It's the late 20th century, and a group of bold Siberian mountaineers decided to challenge the unknown and to take on Mount Kailash. They're not the first to try. Decades earlier, another group had tried, but they vanished without a trace. But these bold Siberian Tans hoped to be the first to succeed. Determined, these climbers embarked on their journey. Only a few hours into their climb, they made a startling discovery. Something strange started to happen. They started aging rapidly. Hair grew long, nails extended, and within hours, they looked as if they'd been stranded on the mountain for weeks. Terrified, they abandoned their mission. Returning to their lives, they hoped to reclaim normalcy, but it was gone forever. Remember that movie, Old, where a family on vacation discovers a secluded beach that makes them age rapidly, turning their entire lives into a single day? Well, Mount Kailash seems to have its own version of that plot. Within a year, every climber had died. And the cause? Old age. Sounds like a plot straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? Leaving experts and enthusiasts scratching their heads. Some propose that Mount Kailash might not even be a mountain at all, but a man-made pyramid with near-perfect sides, constructed by an ancient, technologically advanced civilization. Others suggest it could be the handiwork of divine beings, or even extraterrestrial architects. Wild, right? The truth is, not much is known about Mount Kailash. Shrouded in secrecy and steeped in folk tales, it's hard to separate fact from fiction, but I was determined to uncover the truth. I delved deep, immersing myself in endless research, reading, watching, and listening to everything I could find. The deeper I dug, the more questions arose. What makes Kailash so mysterious? Why does it hold such a powerful aura? Is it the perfect symmetry of its peak, or the sacred significance it holds for multiple religions? Some believe it's a cosmic axis, the center of the world, connecting the earth to the heavens. Others say it's a portal to another dimension. In Hinduism, it's considered the abode of Lord Shiva, the destroyer of evil and the transformer. Buddhists revere it as the home of Demchok, a representation of supreme bliss. For Jains, it's the site where their first spiritual leader attained liberation. Even the ancient Bon religion holds Kailash in high esteem, believing it to be the axis of the universe. The mountain's religious significance is paralleled by tales of the supernatural. It's said that the paths to the summit are guarded by divine forces, preventing any human from reaching the top. This belief is strengthened by the fact that no records exist of anyone ever successfully climbing Mount Kailash. Although the spiritual explanations are captivating, the scientific community has also taken an interest in Kailash's mysteries. Geologists have noted the mountain's striking symmetry, suggesting it could be a pyramid covered in natural rock and ice. This theory posits that an advanced ancient civilization might have constructed it as a monumental structure. But what about the rapid aging phenomenon experienced by the Siberian climbers? Some scientists speculate that unique geomagnetic forces might be at play. Mount Kailash is located at the intersection of significant ley lines, which are hypothesized to influence biological processes. Could these forces accelerate aging? The question remains unanswered. Countless pilgrims and adventurers have shared their experiences around Mount Kailash. Many report feeling a profound sense of peace and spiritual connection, while others speak of unsettling encounters. One story tells of a group who felt an inexplicable urge to turn back after sensing an overwhelming presence. Another account describes mysterious lights and sounds emanating from the mountain at night. For those who have journeyed to Kailash, the experience is often life-changing. The mountain's allure is not just its physical presence, but the deep sense of mystery and reverence it invokes. Mount Kailash is sacred to Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and the Bon religion. That's right, 4 major religions consider this peak holy ground. It's like a spiritual magnet drawing people from all corners of the world. Now, here's where it gets interesting. 4 mighty rivers flow from Mount Kailash, each heading in a different direction. We've got the Indus River flowing north, the Sutlej heading west, the Brahmaputra moving east, and the Karnali River flowing south. It's as if the mountain is the world's natural fountain, quenching the earth's thirst in all directions. But Mount Kailash isn't just about rivers and religions. Its shape is what really sets it apart. It stands as a testament to both natural beauty and architectural marvel. Think about it. Unlike other jagged peaks, Kailash rises from the earth like a giant, precise pyramid. If you've ever marveled at the pyramids of Egypt and wondered about the ancient civilizations that built them, then Mount Kailash will blow your mind. Even Joe Rogan, who often talks about ancient civilizations constructing the pyramids, was astounded by this natural wonder. Instead of being formed by sand, this monumental shape is carved from rock and ice, creating an awe-inspiring sight that seems almost otherworldly. The mystery deepens when you consider that this pyramid-like structure wasn't crafted by human hands. It's as if nature itself decided to play architect, crafting something that defies the usual rugged mountain profiles. And then there's the color show. Each face of Mount Kailash is said to have a different hue. The north face shines gold. The south face gleams like lapis lazuli. The east face sparkles like crystal. And the west face glows like ruby. It's like the mountain is dressed in the finest jewels nature can offer. Now, let's talk snow. Normally, you'd expect the northern side of a mountain to be snowier, right? Not here. Mount Kailash flips the script. The north face has less snow than the south. It's like the mountain has its own rules, defying the natural order just because it can. And if you're a compass enthusiast, forget about finding your way here. The magnetic field around Mount Kailash is so erratic that compasses go haywire. Needles spin endlessly, refusing to point north. It's like the mountain is saying, "You're in my territory now." Speaking of strange, you won't find a single plant on Mount Kailash. Not one. Mountains usually have some form of vegetation clinging to their crevices, but Kailash, it's completely barren. It stands stark and bare, adding to its otherworldly aura. Then there's the swastika. As the sun sets, the south face of Mount Kailash reveals a shadowy swastika, formed by the mountain's natural features. This isn't just a random shape, it's a sacred symbol in many cultures. It's as if the mountain is sending a message, a reminder of its spiritual significance. But wait, there's more. Satellite images show the face of the Hindu god Shiva carved into the mountain, and the snow forms the sacred syllable Om. These aren't just geological quirks, they're symbols revered in Hinduism, seemingly etched by the hand of the divine. Geographically, Mount Kailash is known as the Navel of the Earth. It sits at the planet's exact center, maintaining a consistent distance from major landmarks like Stonehenge and the North and South Poles. It's like the mountain is the Earth's pivot point, the axis around which everything else revolves. Mount Kailash isn't just any peak, it's a puzzle. The mountain is precisely 13,332 kilometers from base to peak when doubled, creating a perfect symmetry. How? Well, that's 6,666 kilometers times 2. But let's not get lost in the math. Instead, let's talk about the 2 lakes that sit at its feet, like guardians. First, there's Mansarovar, a freshwater lake that's round like the sun. It's teeming with life and never freezes, no matter how cold it gets. Sounds like magic, right? And then there's Rakshastal, the demon lake, shaped like a crescent moon. It's salty, lifeless, and often turbulent. Locals claim it vanishes and reappears, like a ghost playing hide and seek. Now, let's get to the juicy part. Climbing Mount Kailash is no ordinary trek. It's an adventure filled with strange happenings. Climbers talk about trails that lead them back to where they started, sudden blizzards out of nowhere, and a feeling of being watched. It's as if the mountain itself is saying, "Not today, buddy." Colonel Wilson, a seasoned mountaineer, once found a perfect route to the summit. Just as he was about to reach the top, a heavy snowfall blocked his path. Coincidence? Maybe. But then there's Sergei Chistyakov, a Russian climber who felt an intense urge to turn back, describing a sense of liberation as soon as he started his descent. It's not just physical, it's like the mountain gets inside your head. And here's where it gets really wild. Even our most advanced planes can't fly over Mount Kailash. They hit an invisible barrier and have to turn back. It's like there's a force field protecting the mountain. Science can't explain it, but it's there, and it's real. So what's going on here? Some say Mount Kailash is an ancient pyramid, built by a lost civilization with knowledge we can't even fathom. Others believe it's the cosmic axis, connecting heaven and earth. Both theories are fascinating, but neither explains everything. Joe Rogan's epic encounter with Sadhguru tried to provide an answer, but couldn't. Sadhguru was on Rogan's podcast, sharing a mind-blowing experience at Mount Kailash. After weeks of being sick and weak, Sadhguru trekked to the mountain. He sat there for 2 hours, and when he stood up, he felt 10 years younger. Rogan was stunned. "But you recovered in Manhattan, right?" he asked. "Yes," Sadhguru replied, "but it was the mountain that healed me. I felt a connection beyond my body, like the entire universe was with me." Rogan, ever the skeptic, couldn't wrap his head around it. "What does that mountain have to do with your recovery?" he pressed. Sadhguru smiled and said, "What you think is you isn't just contained in this body. If you open up, the whole existence is with you. That's Mount Kailash for you, a place where science and spirituality collide, leaving us with more questions than answers. It's not just a mountain, it's a gateway to the unknown, a symbol of the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding." Some believe that Mount Kailash isn't just a natural wonder, but a creation of extraterrestrial beings. Sounds wild, right? But let's explore why this theory has some people convinced. Let's talk about Hindu mythology. Unlike many Western religions, Hindu deities are believed to have a tangible presence on Earth. Thousands of years ago, before humans roamed the planet, these gods lived among us. But here's the twist. They didn't rely solely on their divine powers. Ancient texts like the Mahabharata describe gods using advanced technologies. Think about flying vehicles, voice-activated weapons, and events that sound like nuclear explosions. It's like reading a sci-fi novel from ancient times. For example, the Mahabharata talks about a time when Earth was surrounded by massive cities. From these cities, small vehicles descended, piloted by beings who acted as teachers. Could these ancient texts be describing encounters with aliens instead of gods? And it's not just Hinduism. The Picts, an ancient people from Scotland, spoke of the Hamasuits beings with golden skin, long dark hair, dressed in white. These beings traveled in flying ships and had advanced weapons. The similarities across different cultures make you wonder, did the ancient people have encounters with extraterrestrials? Now let's head over to the Allora caves in India, home to the Kailasa temple. This incredible structure, dedicated to Lord Shiva, symbolizes Mount Kailash. Archaeologists believe it took 18 years to build, with workers removing 400,000 tons of rock. That's 60 tons of rock chiseled away every day for 18 years, an engineering marvel even by today's standards. Inside this temple is a network of caves and labyrinths leading to a super cave. Reports suggest this super cave houses high-tech energy machines and other advanced technologies. Could these be remnants of an ancient, possibly extraterrestrial civilization? It's fascinating to think that the same beings who built the Kailasa temple could have also constructed Mount Kailash. Ancient Sanskrit texts speak of devices that could turn rock into air. Imagine if such a device was used in constructing these monumental structures. It would explain the seemingly impossible feats of engineering that still baffle us today. Now let's talk about Mount Kailash itself. Its near-perfect symmetry is unlike any other mountain in the world. Natural formations rarely achieve such precision. This has led some to speculate that it was intentionally designed. If extraterrestrials had the technology to carve out the Kailasa temple, could it say they not have shaped Mount Kailash too? Mount Kailash isn't just a physical marvel. It's a spiritual epicenter. In Hinduism, it's considered the abode of Lord Shiva. In Jainism, it's the center of the universe. And in Buddhism, it's a holy site. This spiritual significance adds another layer to its mystery. Could the divine encounters and advanced technologies described in ancient texts be the result of contact with extraterrestrial beings? This theory bridges spirituality and science fiction in a captivating way. So what does this all mean? Are we saying Mount Kailash was definitively built by aliens? Not necessarily, but it's a compelling thought that pushes us to consider the unknown and the extraordinary. The extraterrestrial theory invites us to look at our history and mythology with fresh eyes. acknowledging that there might be more to these ancient stories than we initially thought. Mount Kailash stands as a testament to the mysteries of our world. Whether it's a divine creation, an extraterrestrial monument, or a natural wonder, it continues to inspire awe and curiosity. As we explore these theories, we not only learned about the mountain itself, but also about the limitless scope of human imagination and the enduring quest to understand our place in the universe. Theories and speculations. Let's delve deeper into the Allora caves and the Kailasa temple. Imagine ancient artisans chiseling away 60 tons of rock every day for 18 years. That's right, it's like 400,000 tons in total. And this wasn't just any rock, it was a solid monolith. The precision, the intricacy, the sheer scale, it's mind-boggling. Even with today's advanced technology, such a feat seems almost impossible. But wait, there's more. Inside this temple is a labyrinth of caves, some leading to what's been dubbed a super cave. Rumors abound about this super cave housing high-tech energy machines and other advanced technology from an ancient civilization. Could these be the remnants of an extraterrestrial influence? Ancient Sanskrit texts mention devices that could turn rock into air. Yes, you heard that right. Rock into air. Imagine if such a device was used to construct the Kailasa temple and, possibly, Mount Kailash. It's like something out of a science fiction movie. Let's circle back to Mount Kailash itself. Its near-perfect symmetry is nothing short of a marvel. Natural mountains simply don't look like this. This symmetry has led many to speculate that Mount Kailash might have been intentionally designed, possibly by an advanced civilization with technologies far beyond our own. And then there's the spiritual angle. Mount Kailash is revered in Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism. It's considered the abode of Lord Shiva, the center of the universe, and a holy site, respectively. This spiritual significance adds another layer to the enigma. Could the divine encounters and advanced technologies described in ancient texts actually be accounts of interactions with extraterrestrial beings? It's a theory that seamlessly blends spirituality with science fiction. Mount Kailash continues to be a source of wonder and curiosity. Mount Kailash is more than just rock and ice. It's a focal point for 4 major religions, each of which believes that a divine being calls this mountain home. Why? Because the mountain defies logic in ways that leave even the most skeptical scientists scratching their heads. Think about the face of Lord Shiva that seems carved into the rock, the Om sound that reverberates around it, the yin-yang lakes at its base with their bizarre characteristics, and those mysterious lights that dance above Lake Mansarovar. These aren't just quirky features. They're phenomena that challenge our understanding of the natural world. In 1999, Dr. Ernst Moldashev, a celebrated scientist, set out with a team to explore Mount Kailash. What they found shook them to their core. They heard strange noises coming from deep within the mountain, noises that sounded like stones falling inside. Moldashev was convinced that these sounds meant something, or someone, was living inside Kailash. Imagine standing there, in the silence of the night, and hearing those eerie sounds. It's enough to give anyone chills. Moldashev wasn't just any scientist. He believed Mount Kailash was an ancient pyramid, not built by ordinary humans, but by a super-advanced civilization. He thought these ancient builders had mastered subtle energies, linking Kailash with other monumental structures like the pyramids of Giza. His bold conclusion? The Kailash complex is directly related to life on Earth. Then there's the legend of Shambhala, a mythical city said to lie beneath Mount Kailash. According to Tibetan lore, this city is a treasure trove of ancient human genes, preserving the DNA of civilizations long gone. This story was so compelling that even Adolf Hitler, in his twisted quest for Aryan origins, sent an expedition to Tibet in 1938 to explore these legends. Mount Kailash isn't just a place of wonder, it's also a site of caution. Climbers who have attempted to conquer its peaks often face mysterious and tragic fates. The perfect shape of the mountain might seem inviting, but it's as if Kailash itself guards its secrets, reminding us that some places are meant to be revered from a distance. Mount Kailash is where faith meets the unexplainable.